My name is Dan, and today we're going to be talking about the showers we use in our RVs or travel trailers. So everyone talks about water usage and water pressure, especially when you're boondocking. So we thought we would test a very popular shower head for RVers, the Oxygenics. Now there's different models, different colors. Man, I couldn't believe how many part numbers I found on their website. But it also has a lot to do with whether you want white, black, chrome, and the 3 or 4 different types of models. So what we purchased was the Oxygenics BodySpa RV. We bought it in white to match the shower. This was on special at Rona. I think it was about 30 bucks Canadian. Can't beat that from the prices I've seen on the internet and that. So what we're going to do today is we're going to test how many gallons per minute the factory shower head uses, and we're going to test how much gallons per minute the Oxygenics uses. At the same time, we'll do a video on the spray pattern and the pressure coming out. We can't actually measure the pressure, but at least we can see the pressure, feel it, and that's what makes the difference. So, but we're going to do this in 2 stages. We're going to measure each shower head using the water pump that is built into the trailer and city pressure. Don't know if it's going to make a difference, but I haven't seen anybody test this before, and if you're a boondocker, you're going to want to know if there is a difference. So we'll test both, we'll show it on the video, we'll track it on a chart, and see how this works out. Okay, so the first test is going to be with the factory shower head. As you can see, the water jug is marked in increments. We have from 1 gallon all the way up to 2.5 gallons. And we have a timer. So we're going to run the timer for 1 minute and see how much water goes into the water jug. First test is going to be on the RV water pump. So we'll get ready here and go. For those of you who have even less patience than I do, you can fast forward to the 1 minute mark. But we just wanted to show everyone the actual test. And we have 10 seconds to go. And the water is off. Okay. So now, looking at our level, we have just over 1.25 gallons. So the next test is on city water pressure. All right, so second test with the factory shower head, and we are now on city pressure. Now I did hook up my regulator just to see what the pressure is, and the running pressure is 55 psi. When I get a chance, I'll take the cover off in the storage unit and take a look at the water pump that the trailer came with to see what the water pressure is on that, so we have a fair comparison. But here we go, 1 minute with city water pressure on the factory hose. Start. You can definitely hear a difference. I'm sure this would be a way better shower than on the water pump. We're halfway now, and we're just shy of a gallon. 10 seconds to go. Water is off. And it's just over 1.5 gallons. So there is a difference, as I would suspect. Just wasn't sure how much it would be between city pressure or city water hookup and your water pump. Obviously, because there is going to be more pressure, you're going to use more water, but always good to know how much more water. All right, so our initial testing is completed. We tested the factory shower head on city water pressure and the electric pump that comes in the travel trailer we have. So now we opened up the package that the Oxygenics shower head comes in to see what's included. We have the shower head, we have a mount, hose, the connector that goes onto the taps in the shower, and then the hose attaches to it, and it comes with a shutoff. Keep in mind, this is probably, and we'll test it when we have it hooked up, this is probably the same type of shutoff as other RV shower heads. It still allows the water to trickle, which is good. It's not broken, it's not leaking. What it does is it allows the water to still have somewhat of a flow, so that when you turn it back on after lathering, you're not going to freeze or burn yourself. So that's good. The nice thing about this kit is it also came with the tape, the thread tape that you put on when you attach the hose and the shower head. That's great, because there's nothing like going to do a job on a Saturday or Sunday and you're missing one piece and you have to run out to the store if they're open to get it. So thank you, Oxygenics. Okay, so we have our new Oxygenics shower head hooked up. We are still on city pressure, so we're going to do our first test with city pressure, and we're going to run this for 1 minute and see how it goes. There is definitely a different pattern in spray from the factory installed shower head. Won't be able to test it today, but when we go camping, we'll let you know how it feels. Halfway mark. Ten more seconds. And off. Okay. So on city pressure, we are looking at just below 1.5. So I'm going to say this is about 1.4 gallons. All right, so now we'll turn on the hose, disconnect the city pressure, and see how that test goes. Okay, final test. We have the Oxygenics shower head on 12-volt water pump installed in the trailer. I'm going to run it for a minute, see how much water we use. I will say while this is running that the Oxygenics hose is much stiffer. There doesn't seem to be as much play, or it's not as pliable. The hose that came from the factory was more of a rubber type or plastic, soft plastic hose, way more flexible than this hose is. But it was the exact same length. So we're halfway. And we have 10 seconds left. there we go. That was the last test, and we have exactly 1 1/4 gallons of water. So we'll put all these on a chart and we'll look at it some more. Okay, so as we said earlier, we're going to show you how the shutoff valve works that comes with it. So I'll turn the water on, and the reason I'm holding this in my hand instead of hanging it up is because I don't want to get everything wet. So you can see the different type of pattern. It still does trickle. Now what we've done, nothing to do with the video in Oxygenics, we purchased this shutoff valve because we like the water to turn off completely. You just have to be cautious, depending on how long you take to lather up with your soap, that when you turn it back on, it could be cold or it could be hot. And unfortunately, usually it's hot. So there you see the difference. So I may leave both of them hooked up, so depending on who has a shower, if we have guests and they want to leave it trickling, they can. But having this hit you while you're trying to lather up just doesn't make sense to me. And I believe we will also be going back to the factory installed hose because it is much more flexible than this one is. And as you can see, it just tangles up, bunches up, twists the shower head. Not what we want when we go camping. Okay, so time for test results. And the only numbers I'm doing here are using the 12-volt pump, because if you're boondocking, that's when you're going to be really concerned about water usage. Both taking water from your fresh tank and putting water into your gray tank, 2 concerns that you're going to have. So not as big of a difference as I was expecting, I guess you could say, but still adds up if you're boondocking for a longer period of time. So on 12 volts, the factory shower hose and head used 1.3 gallons per minute. The Oxygenics used 1.25, so we're only looking at 0.05 difference. Now if you take a 5-minute shower, this equates to 1/4 gallon. Just 2 people in the trailer, that's half a gallon. And if you're boondocking for 7 days, that's 3.5 gallons. 5 minutes not long enough shower for you? Remember, this is running time of the water because you're also in there lathering, so you can't calculate that into the shower time per se. So this is running water. So 10-minute shower, you're looking at 0.5 gallons per person, so 2 people is a gallon of water. And if you're boondocking for 7 days, that's 7 gallons. So 7 gallons difference between the 2 shower heads. Adds up pretty quick. So if you're boondocking, if you live in your RV and you're boondocking for 3-4 weeks, this could make a huge difference, not just on your fresh water tank that you can top up. You can always buy water and put it in, but your gray tanks, depending on the size of your gray tanks, 7 gallons per week difference could make a difference as to whether you have to hook up and go dump somewhere or fill up a portable tote and go somewhere. So there you have it. Overall, we like the new shower head, and the spray pattern seems to look like it's going to give us a better shower. But like I said, we'll have to let you know when we go camping. We're in our driveway today. But we are going to be switching back to the factory hose. Like I said, it's more pliable, and when you put the hose up onto the bracket, it's not twisted up or out towards you, or even when you have a very stiff hose, it could change the shower head when you let go of it because it's bound up, I guess you could say. So we're going to switch back to the rubber-like hose, but other than that, so far so good. It has made a difference, would save you some water, and we'll find out when we go camping. We'll add to the video at a later date. Thanks for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.